The roots of the steel industry in the Mahoning Valley can be traced all the way back to 1802. We'll tell you how it all began today in Flashback.
Flashback is sponsored by Hickey Metal Fabrication.
This is a photograph of the Hopewell furnace built in 1802 by James and Daniel Heaton. At its height, it produced 2 to 3 tons of iron per day. It was built into a hill next to Yellow Creek in what is now the city of Struthers, says Bill Lawson, executive director of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society.
It only operated for a few years, but it was that documented beginning of a fabled industry here in the Mahoning Valley.
The Hopewell was the first blast furnace to be built here in Ohio and can still be visited today in Yellow Creek Park.
We have a very crude pair of hinges here that were cast out of Yellow Creek iron from the Hopewell furnace. And then we also have a cast iron kettle with a lid on it that shows just how sophisticated some of their work could be in terms of casting iron from the furnace.
The iron industry of the 19th century gave way to the steel industry of the 20th.
Steel really is a purified and alloyed version of iron, which is stronger but also more flexible, and so there's a lot more you could do with steel in terms of making finished products.
The steel industry began with the formation of the Ohio Steel Company in 1892,
which for the first time created facilities to make steel in tons rather than pounds here in the Mahoning Valley.
Inside this case at the People of the Mahoning Valley exhibit in the Tyler History Center, we see various artifacts that would have belonged to the workers who kept the steel industry running.
Such as the insulated coats that they would wear in the plant, the hard hats with the special colored glasses which allowed them to look into the furnaces to see the different chemical properties that were going on in there.
But the mills also required the support of small businesses in the area.
Not only to provide jobs for people, but also the goods and services that you need. There are some family businesses that have since gone away. Peter Dybel's Sons, a meat market on West Federal Street, the East End Cut Rate Market. Over in the city of Camel, you had the Stonework family that operated a neighborhood grocery store on Wilson Avenue. Some other small businesses in downtown Youngstown that went big included the 2 department stores that were quite famous.
Those stores were McKelvey's and Strauss Hirschberg.
These are the kind of stores that brought so many people downtown on evenings and weekends to shop because they literally had everything you would need. The business model is still there. It's just evolved from downtown department stores to suburban mall department stores, and now department stores are online.
While today those businesses are gone, there are some that have stood the test of time. This photo shows the Ruley Brothers Market as it was when it was open on the east end of downtown Youngstown.
They have since moved on to Austintown and Boardman with much larger stores. Schwabel Baking Company, which literally started out as a husband and wife baking bread at their home and taking it out door to door to sell it. And now they are all across the Great Lakes region and operate 3 modern bakeries here in Ohio.
You can learn more about these stories and others in the People of the Mahoning Valley exhibit at the Tyler History Center in downtown Youngstown. It's open Tuesday through Sunday from noon to 4 p.m.
I think if you learn anything from this exhibit, that every generation, every period in our history has its highs and lows. What happened in the steel industry in the 20th century is very dramatic because of the scale of the industry and how many thousands of people were affected by its collapse. But there have been hard times in the past, even going back to the beginning. We have to keep looking forward and using the past not as something sentimental that we want to go back to, but something that can give us lessons in terms of how to face the challenges of the future, but also what to do with the opportunities that come to us.